All right.
Hi!
Hello. Hopefully this is working.
Surprise, it didn't.
Right.
We
We're
just
just
talked to
going
ourselves.
to talk to ourselves for a little bit here. And it appears there's a couple people watching. So hopefully
Yeah,
this is
everybody.
going out to more than just you and me.
Right?
And this is functioning like it's supposed to be. You never know with me at the controls. So it could be maybe doing its thing correctly and maybe not.
Yeah.
So Sarah is, oh, yay,
Yay!
go Lois, thank you. Okay. Hi, Dee. Um,
Hi, guys.
so, yeah, he's here picking up quilts, and there's literally people walking in the door with him standing here. Buddy.
Oh, good timing.
Hi, Mom.
Hi,
So,
Lisa's mom.
do you want to tell us about your day, Sarah? I'm
Yeah,
sure yours has been more exciting than mine.
I bet it has been. Yeah, so we made it to Florida, uneventful, which was great. Except for when we got ready to leave our house, there's this weird beeping noise, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And we it just kept. It only happened when the coach was off, and so we were like, well, it's working. So we drove, and it was driving Dave crazy, right? Because we couldn't figure out what it was. Turns out that there's like a AAA battery and a wind sensor on an awning outside. So we figured that out when we got to the first stop, and aside from that, that was like the eventful piece of our trip, which we were grateful for. All the cats have made it, and then we made it here at the campground, and it's been sunny and beautiful. We haven't had any rain yet, and we took the ferry to Magic Kingdom, and we rode a bunch of stuff this morning. It wasn't very busy, and had lunch at the Be Our Guest restaurant with the Beast.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes, and then we rode Pirates of the Caribbean and got back on the ferry and came back. And I was dying. It's about it's mid afternoon, so roast Sarah time. So I took a cold shower when I got back. And here we are. We have a Halloween party to go to tonight, and I am
Cool.
turned into like a go to sleep at 9 o'clock, and it starts at 9 o'clock. So I'm wondering how that's gonna work.
All right. So
But yeah,
you've got somebody in it looks like in Orlando with you there.
I see that.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Miss
you can go
Evelyn.
party with Sarah.
Right? Come on down.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, it's been actually fairly calm here. No complaints there. It's not Monday, but it's kind of Monday, and
Yeah.
it's been really confusing. So Hayden started today, such a tear. Been wiping them away, leaving at 3 o'clock. Started today. So he's starting his school job back again. I'm so sad. Yeah, so that was really strange and different. But he's like, so I'll see you Friday. It was like, yeah, I'll see you Friday. You won't be here tomorrow. I won't be here Thursday. And
Yeah.
so weird,
Yeah,
strange,
definitely.
strange. So it looks like Evelyn's offering to cool you off. She's got a nice pool for you. So
Yeah.
how about that?
Hey, Dave, there's some lady offering us her pool. She lives here in Orlando.
I think Dave should totally come on camera and tell everybody hi. That's right up his alley, right?
Head over and say hi. He's like, mm-mm.
He's like, yep, not, no. Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Maybe later. Maybe a cat will come and visit. Most likely not, though.
But very sweet to offer. Very sweet. So we have some tools that we're going to show you, some of the things that we like. And Sarah is probably a little lighter than she would be if she were at home. So maybe she can just mention some other ones other than what she's got with you, because I bet you there's more than what you have in your bag.
Oh, for sure. I just brought
sure.
my sharp, pointy objects.
So we're prepared to stab Dave if we're not happy, maybe, or random strangers that get too close to you,
Yeah.
or something like that. So you want to start, or would you like me to start, or we could go back and forth?
Yeah,
or
we'll go back and forth.
So I was going. So really funny. We both have our little bags that are the same bags. They're just different fat. Did you just dump yours?
I've got Wonder Clips.
So I do as well. So we each have the sew together bags that have all of the goodies and things in them. So Wonder Clips are certainly something that both of us use. So these bags are one of our favorite things as well, because they keep, even when you dump them, everything really nice together. So I have multiple sizes of Wonder Clips. The mini ones, which I actually really love the mini ones. And then somewhere in here, I've got the mid-size ones too, but that would be too easy to find, right?
You just got to jump them.
Evidently, oh, here we go. So here's the medium and then the jumbo ones as well. So I have a zipper full of those different pieces there. So those are all of my Wonder Clips. Wonder Clips are available in those different sizes. Yes, they're fun to play with too. And they clip right onto the lid of your machine. So they're also really nice to have, just if you don't really need, or your hair up. Sarah's gonna demonstrate how you can totally, evidently she's gonna, what did you say was in that cup?
Tea?
Uh-huh. Okay.
I don't think it was alcohol, but I didn't get it.
Okay. So anyway, Wonder Clips are really great, and they do come in different colors and things. You can have them be fun colors, or you can pick individual colors. But I like to clip them on my lid so that they're right and easy. And then I also have them in my drawer, and I have them in my to-go bag so that they're always available wherever I am. So super helpful there. So some other fun things that go, I embroider more than I sew, and I use these in my hoop all the time. And this is my violet roller. And then I use
uses that so much.
I couldn't find it. It must have rolled off, and actually there's two here. So maybe I brought it into work and left it here. So here's an open one. Maybe actually there's three here. So that very well.
We like that a lot.
I really, really like this tool.
One for each hand.
And I used it when we did that welcome home. And I might have put it in the bag when I was using it to talk about it. So it's very possible I brought it to work with me. But what this is it's a fabric folding pen, and it comes with a little bottle of pen liquid, AKA concentrated starch. And basically you just put a couple drops in there and then fill that up with water, and you put that right on your seam, flip it over, and then use the roller, and it's just like having an iron right inside your hoop. So all of you who don't have, sometimes we don't have a plug easily accessible, or we don't have a iron that's small enough to fit in whichever hoop that we're using, that comes in super handy. And we have, all we have to have room for is this little guy, and that'll fit in any hoop. So fabric folding pens, great for when you're doing paper piecing in the hoop. One of my absolute favorite things. I learned this a couple of years ago. Before that, I used to spit a lot. This
Which was hard to do last year.
Yeah, but this was really great, and I didn't have anybody looking at me funny when I was using this instead of spitting and putting. I used to joke around in my classes, put a little piece of yourself in all of your projects. Yeah, that got really weird after that. So I don't teach that anymore.
It was really enjoying watching you try to do that with the mask on all last year, though.
Yeah, it didn't work. So that was another little set of tools that I absolutely love. You can, of course, use that with sewing as well, because we have to fold seams in sewing too. But you don't generally have a hoop that constricts your size of your iron quite so much as you do with embroidery, but it's also a great tool for that as well. What do you got? What other thing you got to stab with?
Let's see. I have, I really like these. Apparently, I really like sharp tools. So these are the brass. There's a stiletto and a seam ripper.
I have those somewhere.
Right? If you don't like them to be like, you know, brass or goldy, Tula Pink has a really nice stabby tool. This is that holographic one. Yeah, and that's what it looks like when it's closed up.
Yep.
And this is what it looks like when you open
the
point. Yeah. I have these at like all of the different, like a version of this at all of the different places that I sew at. I try to keep a tool at each one, because I'm sure I'm just like everybody else, right? I take it, and then if I don't put it right back in the thing, I then have 12
don't have it where you need it,
top of it, and I can't find it. At least now I can go to the other. It's really bad when you can't find any of them.
Yep. And I've recently gotten a bamboo one that I really like because it smooths out my fabric for me. So you guys know I don't really like tape. And so this is kind of like putting my finger by the needle without putting my finger by the needle. So I can use that. We recently got some of these in, but they have a little grippy on one end, which works really well for that. So these are available here at the shop with one tip has a little grip tool on it as well. And then a couple years ago, Sarah got us all these little fancy dancy tools that are double tipped. One side has a seam ripper on it, and the other one has that sharp pointy object that we have just been talking about. So these are really great too. And then I know you can order these because that's what she did. Sometimes you can even order them and get them engraved and things. There's really nice gifts. And so I use mine all the time. I really like my sharp pointy end item on there too. So as you can see, we both have many sharp pointy objects because you never know when you need to stab your neighbor. I mean, when you need to need something underneath the needle. That's what I meant to say. So sharp pointy things are also super good. So we talked about that I don't really like tape a whole lot, but there are certainly times and you definitely want to have some tape available. So tape has its time and its place. I don't use it as often as a lot of other people do, but I definitely use it. And I have used many different brands, and I definitely like the Kimberbell tape the best. I have tried regular medical paper tape because I'm like, oh, it's the same kind of thing. It's not. There is a different amount of tack to the Kimberbell tape, and it actually is way better. It rips better. It doesn't stick and leave as much gummy behind. It really is really, really nice. And as much as I hate to say it, the tape dispenser is really nice too. So I have the one from the Bella box. Do you remember when that's coming out?
Well, it says like tentatively October.
Okay.
But it is. It's on the website, and I think it's $19.99. So you can
so you can certainly pre-order, and we will get it to you as soon as they become available. Highly recommended, and it never fails. That dispenser is nice because then you're not doing the two-handed thing. You can keep one hand in the project and whatever's happening there and rip that off. So tape.
Yeah, it's also harder to lose the tape dispenser.
It is much harder to use. Yeah, I've had the tape rolling away way too many times, and it stays. That sucker's heavy. You could use that as a blunt object right along with the sharp pointy things to hurt someone if need be. I don't know why you'd need to do that, but just in case.
This is what happens when people come in and you're using your sharp pointy tool to unsew. It's a bad time to talk.
Right, you can get really angry. I'm unsewing, leave me alone.
It's not going well. Now is not the time.
Now is not the time. So do you have anything other than sharp pointy things?
I do. I have my favorite turning tool.
Turning tool.
This is the one by OESD. It's got the 2 different tips to it. So it's got a really small one, and then it's got a slightly bigger one.
So I have that one somewhere. This is the one I'm so used to. I've had forever and ever and ever. This one is the R&K or Floriani one. They're both very similar. This size tip is the larger one on Sarah's. It doesn't have an other size tip. So I'm unbalanced. She's balanced on this one. I'm unbalanced, which we already knew. But there you go. So turning tools, and you'll notice both of these have flat edges, which means they don't roll off super easy so that you lose them. They stay on the table, which is super nice. And they have that rounded tip so that you can poke out those corners and not poke through the corners, which is super important. So let's see, what else do we have? Scissors, they're super important. Oh, what else you got?
I have my favorite, this is like my favorite chalk pencil. So these are the So-Line pencils. And they call them like a ceramic lead tip in them. So if you've ever used like a regular like a chalk pencil of any kind, and you kind of, it doesn't glide on really well. The So-Line ones glide on, they're very smooth. So you're not like, you don't have to like push really hard in order to get the, to draw your line. And it comes in yellow, white, green, pink, and I think like it does come in regular gray. I don't know why you would want, don't buy gray.
Don't buy gray, but it comes in there.
It does.
Last resort, if they don't have anything else, but.
Yeah, then buy the other lead.
So as we all know, there are many, many different types of marking pens. I have kind of a bouquet, and I have tried many different things. This one's not actually a marking pen, but this one's just a water pen, which I actually do use. It's just in my marking pen pile. Sarah, so your pen is by
So-Line.
So-Line, SEWLINE. Lori, if you got that. I got the computer that my keyboard's not working, so I didn't bring mine over here. Hang on just a second and I will type that. Maybe. If I can get in sort. SEW, So-Line is the name of that, and they make a lot of them. So there's many different ones that So-Line will do. That is one of them, but that is just one of many that So-Line does. Do you remember what the actual name of that specific one is? Like style? No. Because
I don't. It doesn't have anything on the pen.
No, because like this one says So-Line 2 as well,
Yes.
not the number 2. But there's just a numerous. They have chalk pens. They have air erase. They have other things as well. So
this one is definitely it's probably refillable something. So,
refillable. That's what you'll want to look for, is that refillable.
Yeah, the white one. What's for lunch? Dinner?
She evidently doesn't. She's getting home from school at this time, and she keeps forgetting it's Tuesday. We'll get there. It's always Tuesday. We always tell you guys it's always Tuesday, but yeah. Anyway, there's lots of different pens. I also have some friction pens here, which are heat away. I really like those if you have the right kind of fabric. So of course you have to be able to see that. It doesn't matter what color you have. If you have black fabric, you're not gonna see a friction pen. So you have to pay attention. The air erase is really nice because you don't have to worry about it unless you need it there for a long period of time. And then of course, that doesn't work either. The water away are really great, except if you hit that with an iron. Ask me how I know that, because yeah, that's not fun when you have a permanent line in there that you really have to press. So there's lots of different types of them, which is why I have so many in here. Chalk is one of my favorite go-tos because it comes out and it shows up on all different types of fabric and it works really, really great. So yep, I got one of those in here too. There's many different types, but Soline's pens are really, really good. So there's definitely a good brand to go by and not have to worry about your results as far as that goes. So awesome there. So another pile of things that I have here. If you guys have been listening, you have certainly heard me talk about my favorite scissors. So my number one, and I have more than one, but my number one absolute favorite are the 6-inch double curve. These particular ones are by Fomore. They make them, a couple other people make very similar ones, and I don't think that there's a huge difference between brands, but that style. I do not personally like a duckbill applique scissor. For me, the duckbill portion is always in the way. Doesn't mean that you don't like them. You don't have to be like me. It's okay. But this is my personal favorite, and I find that they work the best. And I cut my batting, I cut my fabric, I cut everything. This is my favorite go-to scissor. So the 6-inch double curve, we sell them here at the shop. They're available on our website. They're $18 for the pair. That's my number one go-to. Yes, ma'am.
And I was just going to say, those are your number one go-to because of In the Hoop projects.
In the hoop.
She wouldn't necessarily be cutting her fabric and her batting outside of her hoop with those. She would use something that's just a smidge bigger.
Maybe a little different than that. So these are a pair that I have for most of those other things. I do have other scissors that are bigger. These don't have a super huge, so if I've got a lot of cutting to do, I'm going to be using something else as well. However, these are great. What?
Oh, my cat just peeked up. I said hi.
What? I thought you were talking to me and I was like, I missed it. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. So these are really great. I have really been enjoying doing the Laura Heine and different things where I have to fussy cut. These are phenomenal for that fussy cutting. They have that serrated edge and they really do a great job with that. But again, that's not for embroidery aspect, which you guys know I do a lot more of embroidery than other things. So my number two, when it comes to embroidery, I'm taking a little tip off here and I'll see if I can get, so here is really, really tiny microtip. You can't even barely see the tip of those scissors and they are curved. So they go up a little bit at the end. These are my number two favorite. And now I lost my little plastic somewhere in the mess here.
Those are perfect for when you have to get in those little itty bitty tight places.
In those tight places, or if you're doing, thank you, you as well. If you have cut work that you need to get in between things, so if you're literally having to cut inside of something, they're phenomenal for those as well. So inside little points that you have to get up inside, or if you actually need to cut a hole inside of something, those are the absolute best things that I can tell you to use. The others that I love, and we just got these really pretty handled colored ones recently. So, you know, you got to have pretty ones, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. These are just the thread snips. I know a lot of you guys like to cut your fabric with these. I do not. It's going to dull them out faster, and I want my thread to snip really, really tight down there. So I don't cut my fabric with these. I know a lot of you guys do, but that's not something that I necessarily recommend. My microchips I do, but not on my little snips. I just use those for thread, and it keeps them lasting a lot longer.
Did you bring over one of those really cool thread kits? I mean,
I didn't.
Not thread kits, but scissor kits. You know exactly what I was talking about.
I didn't, but if I spy somebody walking by, or I can see one from where I'm sitting. So I'll see if I can bring that up over if I find anybody. Hayden's not here.
I can send Tony a text.
But yeah, so this is one of the other pairs. This is a mini pair of these is basically, so these are 4-inch double curve. And they are down the list, if you will, but they're, when you can't quite get somewhere because of the larger tip of the 6-inch, they are a nice piece to have in there. So the 6-inch double curves really don't come in a lot of those kits because they're the smaller pairs that come in those. So I like to have those 6-inch. I think that they just go, you can cover a larger space of fabric with those. And my favorite tweezers are the precision point. So I've got a couple different pairs. You can never have too many of these. The bottom ones are the Tula Pink, which have that rainbow, and the top ones are the Femore out of that kit that we were talking about. They both have the exact same tip, and they are that angled precision point, and they really make a difference. So if you're needing to get that thread and you can't pick it up to trim it, those tweezers will make all the difference in the world. There's many things that you need tweezers for, and those grab hold of everything just so much better than a standard pair.
So much better than those tweezers that come with your serger. You should definitely have those for your serger.
Yes, if you don't have, if you've got a serger, you need a pair of those. Yeah. Absolutely need those. And then I have these that are just my everything else standard scissors. These are actually my Creative Memories scissors, but they've made it into my sewing room because I don't mind cutting the paper and the random whatever else with them. So you need I don't want to call them junk because they're actually good scissors, but you need a pair of junk scissors that you're willing to cut other stuff with. So make sure that you have a pair of those somewhere around and available as well. So that's everything out of that pocket. Oh, there's a kitty. Like, nope. Mm-mm.
He made his entrance. He was just about to jump on the table.
So you guys know we like pretty things, right? So a lot of you know that I worked at Vera Bradley for a little bit before I worked here. So I got these really pretty measuring tapes. And that's my go-to. I have like, 6 of these probably floating around because you always need to be able to measure stuff, make sure you've got the right piece of scrap, whatever. So I have these really pretty, I've got a bunch of them. Not a bunch of them here with me today, but I have a bunch of them, and one of them lives in my little bag of goodies over here. So what else? You got anything else over there?
Did you bring any of the stash and stores over?
I have them right here. Dun, da, da, da. Dun, da, da, da.
Those are fantastic. It's a really good
They
way
really
to keep
are.
yourself organized. Any place that you sit. They have a little one that's about half the size of that.
Yep.
It sits on the top of your sewing machine really neatly.
Yes, it does.
Hole.
And as long as you don't put really big items in there, they stay really
well. Yeah.
So a lot of the things we've talked about are actually shoved right in there.
Yeah.
And they have, that's what I was trying to show, little woven pieces in there that you can put different sized tools in there, and they just sit there so you can just grab hold of whatever it is that you need. I've actually put pins in there when I have a random pin that I just can't find like where it goes. I've shoved pins right into the rubber so that so I don't step on them is really the bottom line answer to why they get shoved in there. But all kinds of stuff can get put in there. So yeah, the stash and stores are phenomenal. And let's see, do we have anything else hiding over here? We have the hole punch.
That's a really nice new tool.
It is a really nice tool.
That's come in. Who would have known that would be so handy for all of the Kimberbell stuff?
Right? I mean, all of the lights and everything. So this is a phenomenal. So they've changed the packaging just a little bit, but the Perfect Punch by OESD is fantastic. So anytime that you need to cut those little tiny eyelet in the hole inside of the eyelet, it is just a phenomenal tool for that. And the little, it keeps all of the fabric inside, and then you can just clean that out so you don't even make a mess. It's crazy. Yes. I mean, we're really good at making messes, but Yeah, and let's see, you should always have some fabric glue, spray check of some sort, and a bodkin. Gotta have a bodkin. This is my favorite little guy. They come in those 2-packs. I've never used number 2. I always use this one. This is my favorite. It's always my favorite.
Yeah, that one is a really good one. It's a nice size.
It really is. So you just put whatever inside the clamp at the top and slide that up, and it holds really, really tight. And then you just feed it through whatever. Again, Kimberbell uses lots of things. We have to ribbon through something, but we do that a lot on lots of projects. You have to gather something or put a ribbon through something to finish it. There's lots of things, all kinds. Elastics, yep, you name it, lots of stuff. But this is my favorite one. It's just so easy, and it likes to get lost though, so put it somewhere safe.
It appears like the the haunted home new pillow is popular all of a sudden. So this doesn't have anything to do with our favorite things, but if you looked at our newsletter today, you would have seen there's a new Kimberbell doodad from the vault. And I just thought that I would point out, someone else pointed out to me and said that if it's from the vault, then it can't actually be new. But that's not true. So Kimberbell added this really cute Halloween pillow to their vault. And the reason it's in the vault is because there used to be like a 40 by 40 version of this, and this is a much smaller version of the project. And it will have the embroidery designs and the project instructions in there, and it will be available. It just says coming soon. They didn't actually say what day it was going to be released, but it is coming soon, and we're going to do a fabric kit for the pillow. So you will have to purchase the embroidery designs through the Kimberbell vault. You can do that through our website, but you would be essentially I just want to make sure everybody understands, kind of checking out twice. Once through us if you want the kit, and then once through Kimberbell if you want the actual designs. Our kit does not come with the designs because we don't have access to it. We don't have it. So just thought I would make sure that was clear.
And we've gotten a couple questions about, it did used to be a pattern. It is old. That's what the vault kind of is. Our older patterns that they're bringing back, it used to be a sewing pattern for a wall hanging. They've shrunk it and made it an embroidery pattern. So it was never before available as an embroidery pattern, and now it is, or it will be. So that's kind of where that's going. So this is that kit in a cute little zippered pouch so you can travel with them. And it has some duckbills, those microchips, though they are straight, a 4-inch snips, and then the tweezers. And that is that kit. And shocker, I know it's available on our website as well as here in store. So those are most of the tools actually that I was talking about are all in there. The only thing that's not are, again, those bigger scissors. They, whatever reason, they don't really include those in very many kits. But they are, they certainly are my favorites. So if I was going to create a kit, they would be in there. But
someday we'll create a kit.
They don't ask me. I know, it's so funny. So that is, my bag is almost empty. The only other thing that I have in here that we haven't talked about is this little screwdriver, which is a wonderful little screwdriver. And it is a multi-position. So there's actually 3 numbers on there, 1, 2, and 3, and you turn the point of the screwdriver head to the different positions. So position on the end is going to do for your foot or your needle. This one here is going to be for your needle plate. So it would give you the access there. And when you turn it to the inside, it actually will tighten the screw on your hoops for your brother and your baby lock hoops. So that is that little guy. And of course, I put a lanyard on it so that it's bright red and I can't not find it in my drawer. It's super easy to find because little things like to disappear, like bodkins and folding fabric pens and random things that like to roll away. So I like to make sure that they can be easily found. So, and Lori, it looks like the new pillow is the embroidery portion's 18 by 18, but it's a flange, so it's 21 and a half by 21 and a half with the decorative border is the size of the new pillow.
Yes.
So, the only other thing in my bag are cute USBs, which you can't embroider without USBs. So why not have cute ones?
Yep.
So got lots
I
of
never
those.
have enough USB sticks.
No, I got Superman and Dumbledore. And I do have Kimberbell. You know, you got to have a little this and a little bit of that. Oh, how about this guy? This is great, Jewel.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah,
This
that
is
is the
tool.
Adjustable seam guide.
Yeah.
That is fantastic for any type of sewing that you want to do where you need to have a guide. It's just perfect. It sits in front of your needle on your throw plate, so it makes it really, really easy. And you can do everything from like 1/8 of an inch all the way up to probably like an inch or so if you were all the way away.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's only got 3 sizes marked on it, but the screw moves way more than that. So you could simply measure and make it whatever it is that you wanted as long as it's within that range.
Right.
And it kind of takes that guesswork out for you and allows you to just sew without where you just push that fabric right up and just sew. So you don't have that stress of worrying about where everything goes.
Yep.
So my bag is empty now.
My bag is empty as well.
It's because you dropped yours. So, but yeah, so lots of fun little things. And the bag itself, we sell the pattern for. So if you are looking for something that keeps everything together and helps you keep organized when you're traveling with your sewing supplies, or even just on your table. It doesn't have to be, it could be traveling from machine to machine in your own sewing room. It doesn't have to be outside of your own sewing room. It's just nice to have everything.
Yeah, you can open it and
yep, it lays really, it opens up so much, but it closes to be really small, but it opens really, really wide.
Yeah.
And it's a great bag. Sarah taught a class on that a long time ago.
I did, yeah. It's a pretty easy. I mean,
the binding's the only thing I think that are.
But it's not a hard sew. It's one of those weird things. You know, sometimes the way you have to write something doesn't necessarily make sense. You just kind of have to do it in order for that. But there are a lot of YouTube videos on the sewing of the zipper pouch part. That is really the hard part of this bag. There's another version of, it's called the Sew Together bag. There's another version of this bag that has like 7 or 8 pockets. It's like gargantuan. But it's a really fun bag. It works well for like techie stuff too. So you know, if you are traveling with a laptop or something and you have other gadgets, or I had someone who made one with really cute like TV prints, because she put her remotes in it for like her everything. So she said she could find them, but she was always losing them. So,
no doubt.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of fun things with it. And it's a good use of zippers. If you
you can have a lot of fun. You know, I bet you Sarah did too. I don't remember what the insides of yours look like, but I have different fabrics in all of my pockets, are a different lining. You know, my zippers are all a different color. Had a lot of fun playing and making it look super cute. So yep, lots of fun and not hard by any stretch. So that's what we had for you guys today, is just some fun little, make sure you have these because they'll make your life a little bit easier, because that's what we like to make our lives easier when we're sitting down to sew. So we hope you enjoyed that. Sarah's got some partying to get back to, it looks like. I don't know, she might need a nap. I mean, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so
Right?
time for a nap.
A long way to go.
We got a long way to go. Absolutely. So we'll let Sarah get back to vacation. Thank you for taking a break and spending a little bit of that with us. And we will yep, Pam says have some fun, and I totally agree. So go have some fun. We will see the rest of you guys later on. And
next week's going to be a replay,
yep.
rerun.
So if you guys have any questions or whatnot, you guys know you can reach us here at the store. Well, at least me next week here at the store, and we'll see you next time. So thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye.